It's not unmuted. Oh, okay, here we go. So those on the
Oh.
live, you should be receiving audio now. Our apologies. So yeah, just
Oh.
one more time for the persons on live, just congratulating Chevanev Charles on being admitted to the New York bar. He was admitted on Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, and activated mornings. We're just extending congratulations to him. Now, to Maxwell Charles. He's Maxwell Charles' son. Thank you, Rosie Samuel. He is Maxwell Charles' son. I don't remember if Maxwell Charles was a senator or it doesn't matter because it's about Chevrolet this morning. Distracted me there. No, CELAC. Listen, I live in Top Kittles, Christal, and today is our garbage day. So this morning around 5 to 5:30, I went up to the top of my gap to take out garbage. And I'm seeing CELAC vehicles left, right. So the road was busy at 5 a.m. this morning. That's how you know something happening, because that is not the culture on the leeward side for there to be any sort of traffic or heavy activity between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. We're not used to traffic in general. So that was interesting.
I on the windward side of the island, past the hotels at one point, and I didn't realize we had so many of those new narrow buses in the country. I don't know if you know them.
I do not.
They're the ones that are being like imported now. So they're a little taller and they're a little narrow, but 4 people could still fit on the seat. Sometimes uncomfortably, but they're the newer set of buses in the country. I'm like, wait, we had so many, and they all look brand new. I guess that can lend itself again to like reiterating maybe one of the reasons why the schools were closed. Speaking of which, though, and this is still in the CELAC conversation. So the Ministry of Education sent out an advisory for schools are going to be closed for 2 days, yesterday and today. Why did that include daycare and preschool? You guys are not, I don't understand it. So I understand that some preschools closed and some daycares closed yesterday and today as well, which makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. Because the majority of people who are traveling, right, in terms of students, if it is that the intention was to reduce the traffic and use the buses, whatever, they're not going in school buses. They're not taking up extra space in the buses either. They're sitting in a parent's lap. Why close the daycares and the preschool? It wasn't for you. Well, that's just my opinion. I don't think it was for the preschools. Anyways.
And that is the end of Christal's 7 a.m. rant.
It's not a rant. It's not a rant. And like it did not affect me. I just heard that there were other schools that were closed, which really didn't make any sense. Because parents now had to scramble to find for 2 days. It's just so unnecessary and so inconvenient.
So
back to other matters concerning CELAC.
For those interested in the CELAC summit, One News has a bunch of photos of some of the diplomats arriving yesterday. So I'm currently looking at President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Orfan Ali, who arrived yesterday. He was among 33 leaders. And there's a picture of him being escorted by who seems to be the Commissioner of Police and Minister of Education, Curtis King. We also see President of Cuba, Miguel Diaz, who arrived yesterday, also being escorted by Minister of Tourism, Carlos James, and Deputy PM Montgomery Daniel. We also see Mother Mia Motley, President Mia Motley, Prime Minister, but I want to call her President. More. Right?
It's by putting the more.
Mia Moore.
Choking the honorable tuna. Honorable Mia Moore.
Honorable Mia Amor Motley arrived yesterday at the Argyle International Airport. She is now currently in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Like you won't be a Bajan this morning or what?
Listen, I am biased. I am biased. I love this woman with my whole heart. This woman is such a good Prime Minister. Anyways, and we have Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, accompanied by his wife, Vincentia, Jamisha Prince Drew. We also have Antonio
You're
Guterres,
so
Secretary General of the United Nations.
a call coming through. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
All right, for the time being. Thanks. How are you? Is this who I think it is?
Yes, it's Candyman.
What's up?
I'm great, man. I just wanted to call to say how proud I am of our people. And I'll tell you why I say that. Last night, we had a reception ceremony for the cocktail and reception for the CELAC Summit 8 at the Sandals Resort. First of all, I got to tell you guys, I don't know why y'all didn't come down, but you should have been there. It's gorgeous. If you think Sandals is beautiful in the daytime, in the nighttime it's a magical realm. You know?
Could you imagine?
And the setting was well done, and I really have to congratulate the people who put on the show. And I'm not just talking about the performers here. I'm talking about the production crew and sound crew, everybody involved. It was a spectacle to behold. I don't know if you watched it live, but I also watched it live on getting home because I wanted to see it again, you know. But seeing it in person was just something different. And our dancers and our drummers, like the Gracia and the drumology and the Rose Hall drummers and the cake dancers from Union Island, and to hear the comments from our visitors, you know, and a lot of these are people who know the performing arts, and they've seen these spectacles on multiple occasions, I'm sure, and they were full of praises for last night's showing. And I really have to congratulate all of them, especially the band Silk. And I have to boast a little bit. I'm sorry, but it's a band out of Mespo, you know. It's a Mespo band, you know. Yeah, man, it's a Mespo, of course. And they did a fantastic job. You guys should go and look at the live and hear them sing. Bob Marley and Maria McKee, and I mean, they did some soca. They even did one of the lead singers did Havlin Gill. She did a Zouk song in French. You guys should go and listen to that. And she sang the words, you know. I don't know if she was singing the right words or not, because I don't, you know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
But it sounded right. It sounded a popular Zouk song. Takamache, you know that one. And they were well received. I'm telling you. I'm so proud and I'm so happy. I want to congratulate them all, Rodney Small and Darren Andrews and the whole crew that put this thing together, and the Ministry of Tourism, PS, Rita McBarnett, and all of them. I really have to congratulate them. I'm really, really proud. And just by the way of correction, though, the government did not close schools today. So the closure of schools was for primary up to tertiary levels. And of course, you understood we needed the buses, but apart from that, the kind of traffic we would have had yesterday and today, people would have gone crazy sitting in their vehicles, because, you know, all these delegates have to get out and they have priority on the road.
Right.
So it would have been chaos. And sometimes how do you measure what you prevented, right? Like when you prevent crime, how is there a measure for that? You don't know what would have happened.
Exactly. Really hard to tell.
Yeah. So in hindsight, some people, I've seen some people say we shouldn't have closed schools, but I think it was the right decision, because even some of those people would have been frustrated this morning, you know, especially this morning with the kind of traffic we would have had. But majority of the preschools are privately owned. So I guess some of them decided to close for the day. That's within their prerogative, you know. But the government did not issue a closure for preschools per se. All right.
Right.
And we're getting started down here in just a few. And we expect a good day. We expect a lot to come out. And I don't want to preempt what will happen. We'll get all the declarations and we'll get all that's coming out. There's a lot of coverage coming from the API. So I encourage everyone to follow the API's page and NBC Radio and other local news publications that will be there. They'll be providing coverage throughout the course of the day. And just appeal to all Vincentians that we continue to put our best foot forward and to show our best measure of hospitality to our visitors. This is a once in a lifetime kind of event. It's not often we host the representatives of 650 million people in a tiny dot like SPG, right? So let's all chip in whatever measure we can, whatever small way, even if it's just a smile or a handshake. We can show love to these people and let them know who we are as Vincentians.
Before
and
you
guys are doing a good job.
Before you
Thank
leave,
you.
Candyman, besides the handing over of the presidency to Honduras, for those interested in tuning into the summit or those looking out for news from the summit, you have an idea of anything that will be discussed today?
There are a lot of items to discussion. But like I said, I don't want to preempt anything. But I can tell you there are issues like climate change and climate resilience. You know, our part of the world and there are a lot of small island developing states within CELAC, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we have borne the brunt of climate change and the catastrophe that it can cause. So that these are pertinent issues. There are all other issues of cooperation and forging greater ties within the union.
Trade is one.
Health and responding to pandemics and there's a lot on the agenda for today. It's going to be a busy agenda, but of course, like I said, you can tune in and encourage your listeners to tune into the coverage, and there'll be a lot of reports coming out. You get a lot more from what the leaders discuss.
Most definitely expecting that.
It's a summit, and I just want people to understand that what the summit is. Really, summit is of the highest level. Normally you have meetings, you have conferences, etc., and you send representatives. But the summit, you have the leaders, because the summit is really at the highest level. You think about a mountain, for instance. Summit is the top, right?
Right.
So we have, and we have the United Nations Secretary General in as well. Never visited St. Vincent and the Grenadines, any UN Secretary General here as well to this summit, and I believe he will be staying on. He will be staying on after the summit for a bit of time. And on Saturday, remember, St. Vincent and the Grenadines was sitting as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council back in 2001 when we were affected by the Lassa Freya volcano, the eruption. And the UN played a role in assisting us with our relief and recovery efforts. So you can imagine that he was the Secretary General at the time. And so, as I said, you can imagine that he's quite interested in following up and knowing, how we've been coping since then and how their assistance helped us. So all of those things are things to look for in the days after today, but today is the main day. Today is our day. And I just once again want to encourage everybody to put their best foot forward.
All right. Thanks for the call and updating us this morning.
Sure. You guys have a good day, man.
Same to you. Thanks. Take care.
All right. The time is